Hey guys, so today we're going to work on a few things. We're going to be in a seated position. That way we can get some actual grappling done without standing, without being at the shop, stuff like that. We're going to go over what I like to call like the evolution of professional wrestling. I know that a lot of times old ways are the best ways, usually, in my opinion. However, some things have to change. Some things will not be the same. So in this regard, people are more educated to the fact that MMA has really caught on. So a lot of people understand basic grappling. So when you do stuff like a rear naked choke, people know. So a lot of times I feel as though in this business, we usually grab a chin lock as our rest hold. The heels use that chin lock a lot. There's nothing wrong with using a chin lock. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. However, you see it too often. You see it too often, like most matches, is back to back to back. If they grab a hold, which they should grab a hold, it's usually a chin lock because it's usually the easiest way to work your way out of it. However, that being said, a few things. It's overdone. It's very redundant. You see it a lot in most matches. You'll see hammerlocks done like obsessive, or chin locks done obsessively, like they do it too much. Another thing too is it's a legitimate hold, and people know this. As soon as you get that neck, the guy's in trouble. As soon as you have his back and he's seated or he's on the ground and you got his neck, he's done. So you take the element of wrestling out of it. You take the realism away when you're like this. Oh my God, he's got my neck. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fire up. So today we're just, I just want to go over one thing, and then I'll go over one of the pet peeves I have, and then possibly, since we're already set up really nice, we'll do something out of this spin. So when you're seated in a seated position, now Ethan is in the back here, as you can see. So Ethan's gonna grab me in a chin lock. Nice socks, Ethan. So Ethan's got me in a chin lock. So when somebody comes in, when Ethan comes in for that chin lock, so go for that chin lock again, Ed. So once he comes in, so he's gonna try to snap that headlock. As soon as he's there, we're gonna turn out. So basically all you're doing is popping your hips and turning. Remember, wrestling is circles. So to turn with pressure, as he brings his arm in, you can just pop out. So all you have to do is grab his wrist with that left hand. Two hands is preferable, but for now, if you want to post on the mat, you can. So as he comes in and he goes for that chin, you grab that wrist and you turn. Now you're on your knees. You got him. You got him by the wrist. You got the wrist lock. So now, let's go over, before we get into a few other things, let's go over the pet peeve here that I hate so much. So say I got this wrist lock. This wrist lock down, Ethan's here in a position where he's down. He's in a bad spot. I'm in the upper spot. I got the upper hand. The worst thing I see in professional wrestling is this. Why do you kids want to turn so difficultly under a guy that's already down? It makes no sense. So if you find yourself doing it, let's break that habit now. The idea is, as soon as you spin out and you have this wrist lock, you're in dominant control. Now, I don't want this wrist lock, because if I have this wrist lock, obviously he's going to roll through, right? Luchador Ethan is going to roll through. However, as soon as you're in this position, there's different ways you can go. You can either come into an armbar on this side, and that's a great little hold right there, which is great because now you're in dominant position. But in professional wrestling, we go for pins. So this is what I want you guys to think about when you get into these positions. So instead, when you come out with that wrist lock, I want you to feed the right. The right is going to scoop underneath, and you're going to go into your arm bar in the front. So when you do this, when you come to the front, what is like holding you back from doing this? So as I turn and push, Ethan is now down. So pushing the other way, turning the other way, facing him and pushing that shoulder down puts him into a position where you can go for a pin, he can kick out, and then you're back to that arm bar. That arm bar should be solid, and that knee should be on that face as well, because it just adds a little bit more. There you go. That's a good one.